What's your favourite Lionel Richie song?
Hello and welcome. This is the very first time I've ever put a video on my own YouTube channel. Who would have thunk? A few of you have been asking me to put together a step-by-step video of how I put on my Riff Raff makeup. And so, here it is. I should stress that this isn't a tutorial on how to do Richard O'Brien's Riff Raff makeup from the film. It's not that. This is just what I do when I go on stage and play Riff Raff, which at this point I've done about, I don't know, 1,200 times or something silly like that. So, first of all, I get my sponge off my face, thank you, yes. Then I use it to apply a base. And I use full coverage MAC foundation, NC15. It's light. You can use whatever you like, actually. You just want to make yourself look as sickly as possible. Of course, most people use makeup to make themselves look better. However, my skill seems to lie in making myself look nasty. Nice one, Kristian. I take a flat concealer brush and with a cream highlighter, I highlight everything I want to stand out. It has to be a few shades lighter than your base, otherwise it won't stand out enough. I highlight my brow bone, the middle of my forehead, down my nose, my cheeks, my chin and jawline, everything that needs to stand out. What's amazing is that I'm talking without my mouth moving. It's like a miracle. A little Rocky Horror miracle. I get an oval shadow brush and a cream shade. This is Battleship Grey, but in an ideal world it would be, I don't know, a dusky browny grey. But I've learnt you can't get everything you want in life. Or maybe you can. Now the aim is to give dimension to your face. So all those bits that you want to appear like a hollow, those are the areas you shade. So for me, it's like the side of the temples there. I really want Riff Raff to have striking kind of hollowy cheekbones. And obviously the eyes should be sunken. And, I give a bit of dimension to the nose as well. Theatre makeup, it seems to me, is a bit of a dying art. And we're still playing the same theatres they were playing 100 years ago. And they were far more onto it when it came to theatre makeup then. Yes, the style was far more exaggerated. However, your audience members are still, 70, 80, 100 meters away from you at the back of the stalls or the back of the gods. And unless you're accentuating your features, you might as well be wearing a paper bag over your head. It's not such a problem for girls, but guys, you should at the very least be wearing mascara. If the audience members can't see your features and can't see how you're reacting, then, it makes that job all the more harder. And theatre makeup accentuates that. It helps the audience. It helps you tell the story. So yeah, just my opinion, guys. So here I'm taking a round fluffy blender brush and I've got, it's like a pebble colour, which is actually closer to that dusky grey brown that I was yearning for. And I'm using that to soften the shading I've used while still keeping the intensity of the colour and sometimes even deepening the colour. Then I use a bullet-shaped shading brush, say that fast, with a colour that's like a Venetian canal green. And I use that as the deepest shade of my shading. And then I just go underneath where all the bones and the deepest parts of those recesses would be. I wish I could do this fast in real life, but I can't. So, to make myself feel better, I use a firm, wide shader brush with tightly packed bristles. And I use that with, it's like a purple-red eyeshadow. I do under the eyes to make him look tired, and skin is never one colour, so I kind of accentuate different parts on the face just to make it look a bit more natural. Next, I get a fine eyeliner brush, and I get the red out. It's a red aqua colour, and I go underneath both eyes, and I drag that colour down. I blend it down, and not too neatly either. I want it to look a bit messy, as if the blood is just drawn down the veins underneath my eyes. And I take a red eyeliner and I draw a fake waterline underneath my own waterline because I want my eyes to look a bit bulgier than they actually are. Then I take that fine brush and the same red aqua color and I define the lines of the lip, the smoker's lines. I don't smoke, but I imagine Riff probably smokes some really great alien substance. And you graduate them out past the outline of your actual lip. And this is probably a good point to set everything. So I get a translucent powder and I pat everything down. Aww, pat. Most importantly, this stops the makeup from sliding off my face. I do a few touch-ups from here, and then that leads me on to the favorite bit for me, which is where I start adding the black. And it's from this point where I start seeing Riff Raff looking back at me, and that Riff Raff face is probably more familiar than my own. Right, the black. I take an angled liner brush and some black aqua color, and I start giving Riff Raff his bushy, long eyebrows. Get the finest part of the brush, and you want a light touch, and you just follow the eyebrow line out and extend it where it would grow if you had uncontrollably long eyebrows. Then you take a fine liner brush and you line your top lid, line the lower lid, but under that fake red waterline. You want to accentuate the lips as well. You want them to look as dry as the Sahara, unless of course it's snowing. Now, when I first performed Riff Raff, I was in South Korea, and there was a bit of a language barrier there, so when it came to the makeup, I wasn't given a design or told what to do. I was just given a pot of translucent powder and a pretty awful wig. And so I went away and I tried to come up with something myself of what I imagined Riff Raff should look like. And to be honest, it has actually changed a lot since then. I'm a little bit embarrassed to look back on it now, but that was actually part of the process. Over the last 4 or 5 years since I've been doing Riff Raff, he's aged a lot, as probably I have too. So I've made him look far more haggard, and, I paint the wrinkles in now and give him the really dry lips. In the beginning, he just looked way too fresh, when I think he should be kind of much older and haggard and worn down by life. And Frank's whip. Then I take a super fine bent liner brush. No, it's not broken, it actually looks like that. Why? I'm not sure. I can certainly be more accurate with it. It's probably a bit more ergonomic. Basically, I put a very fine pale line next to all the dark lines. That makes those black lines pop, which means the audience are going to be able to see it better. Next is the veins.
Veins.
This bit's for me, really, because I doubt any of the audience could actually see it, even with binoculars. To do that, I get a blue pencil, and very faintly I draw them down my face and down my neck. I don't know why, I just like it. So we're on the home straight here. I do some final touch-ups. Anything I don't like, I correct. I also get some lip coat and obviously coat my lips. And that just keeps everything in place when I'm drinking and eating or just talking. Don't forget the mascara. I take a little bit of white and put it on my actual waterline because I want my eyes to look more bulging, a bit more bug-eyed. So that's pretty much the makeup done. Now I get my hump on and I get my wig on. I'm really thankful that the wigs in Rocky Horror are really high quality, and when they go on my head, it pretty much looks like I grew it myself. We put the wig cap on and we pin that in, and then the wig gets pinned through the wig to the wig cap. And normally a wiggy would do this, but today it's just me. Then I get some wig glue, glue down the netting on the front of the wig to my face, and that's it. Master. hypnotizing you with my eyes to subscribe, like, and share. I think you might have lost the plot.